that still gets brought up. You know, whatever happened with Joseph, whatever happened.
A talented musician, Joseph Behrend rocked his way to the top as a keyboardist with the Flamin Ohs. In 1989, his death rocked the community.
A fatal mystery involving the Minneapolis music scene of the late 70s and the early 80s.
The victim, the keyboardist of the band, the Flamin Ohs. Joseph Behrend.
Joe, who lived in a brownstone building here on Columbus Avenue, was found murdered one morning by his brother, who had arrived home from work, and found him murdered inside a room that most folks told us was his music room. And he was bludgeoned with his guitar.
The idea that it had to do with music because he was hurt with his own instrument was really hard on people.
Over 25 years later, no one has been charged for Joseph's death. His loved ones are still holding on to hope and memories.
We had like 3 wedding receptions because we got married in Miami, and we had to have one for my family and his family.
Joseph was a true, like, Renaissance man. He went to school to be a French chef. So when he cooked for you, he didn't make bacon and eggs. He made coq au vin or chicken cordon bleu. And then he went to McPhail School for Music, and that's where he learned to play piano. And he learned classical. He was classically trained. I don't think you'd ever find anyone who would say anything bad about him. He didn't have rage in him. He didn't have mean in him. He had sweetness. He was a very sweet man.
And just as his friends and family haven't forgotten about his death, investigators haven't either. They continue to search for answers.
The evidence in the case was very scarce. It was processed as best it could be back in 1989. We didn't have the technology then that we have now. So as a result of reopening the case, we submitted some evidence to use our new technology, and we came up with some things that led us further on into the case.
Now investigators want more information from the people that were around at the time, people that maybe held back before.
A lot of times in cold case homicides, what we find when we push out information to the masses, somebody steps up and says, enough, you know, I need to talk about what I know.
It would just be nice to know, and I don't like the word closure at all, but in this case, maybe closure would be good. It would be good for all of us, I think.
Joseph Behrend lived a storied life, a story his loved ones say shouldn't end in mystery.
I think that he deserves a better ending to his life.